From the time I was a little kid, and I lived in Maine, always loved to fish. I got my start when I was about 3 years old, when I caught my first brook trout. I love to go out in nature, you know. I think I know every hole in a current river, starting with Montauk. Whether I caught fish or not wasn't critical, but with just being out there and enjoying it. And I love doing that.
He's lived an exciting life because he's been adventuresome, he's an outdoorsman, he's a professor, he's a businessman, he's a great community guy, helped so many people.
His greatest asset as a partner in starting the business was basically Bill's perspective or outlook on life. He was an extreme optimist.
I'm just really impressed by how constantly optimistic that Bill is, always looking forward, thinking there's a solution to every problem and we can solve this and we can find a better way, and believing that there's always a positive future.
I grew up in Lowell, Massachusetts, and my early boyhood was in Kennebunkport, Maine, where my grandparents lived. When I graduated from high school, that was 1939, so I joined the Army Air Corps and I left home in navigation. I was right near the top of the class, and so I became an instructor in navigation. We were told we would be going to Guam, and so I was to navigate the plane overseas for the first time. And the radio man, he was unable to contact the submarine. I said, "We don't need the submarine. I know where we are, we'll get you there." There was a civilian head of the organization. He said to me, "How would you like to be an instructor?" And I was only 18 at the time. The last thing I ever thought of was teaching. And at that time, that's when I decided that's what I'd like to do. Become a teacher.
Bill is an amazing teacher. You know, that same personality that we call optimism comes out in full force in the classroom also. So he's very much about a positive engagement with the students.
He was well liked as a teacher. He came here in 1953 and I was here in 54, so he had not been teaching very long.
And Bill had a great deal to do with raising the level of integrity and quality of education here.
Well, he wants his student to be successful. You know, his quote is that, you know, if his student is not successful, he is not a successful advisor or teacher.
But the students liked him. He was friendly, accessible, somewhat demanding. He expected you to do the homework and to pay attention.
He says, for our life, we are not going to only face one problem. We are going to face all different kind of problems. You know, the most important thing is the process to solve the problem. You know, because each problem will be different. No matter it's life or no matter it's research, it will be all different.
I don't know why the university had a problem with him starting a business, but they didn't like it. So I don't know if it's because they thought the university should have been involved in it and they weren't getting their take, or whether they just thought he shouldn't be, as a professor, he shouldn't be doing it. I don't know what it was.
The part of me that I was familiar with was to produce compounds that were shipped to Bell Labs in New Jersey, and they used it in producing microchips.
Bill was, I think he even used the term, a very reluctant businessman. He didn't really want to go into business. And Larry and other people just arm twisted him.
And I remember going home to my wife, saying that I had decided to do it. She said to me, "I thought you said you were never going to do that." And I said, "Well, yes, I did say that." I said, "But I'll tell you something. Within a year, it'll be dead in the water."
He wasn't put off by, "I've never done this. I'm gonna do it." I didn't know anything about starting a business either. So we had a great team of people that didn't have a clue what they were doing. It grew from there into, for well over 2.5 decades, they supplied the semiconductor industry worldwide with these materials that were in the critical path of making all semiconductor devices. Pretty impressive for a little town and a couple of professors.
The first week that I came to town, after I came here to be sort of permanently located here in the RV, he took me to the bank, which was Rolla State Bank at the time, and on his word, they gave me a $100,000 line of credit, just like that, and started doing development of product right away.
Had it not been for Bill, I'm not sure. I know Brewer Science would not be in Rolla, and I'm not sure that there would be a Brewer Science.
He was very much in love with his wife and took care of her when she was ill. I know that he has children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. I bet you he's a great grandpa.
Bill was married to the same person for, and I forget, I should remember the years, but I don't think it's like 75 years. It was a long, long time, to Arlene. And the love that was there at the end, I never saw it change from the first time I met him and saw his family on.
People would say to me, "You've had a very successful career. Was there an individual or someone that, was responsible for that you would give a great deal of credit to?" And it's very easy to answer. It's my wife. She was always a happy woman. She was always interested in what I was doing. I couldn't wait to get home. I would even tell her about one of my lectures or how it went. And she'd say to me, "Well, I don't understand it, but I can see why." She might, "You're a good teacher." And that's all it took. When she said I did something well, that was it.
Bill, who is the outdoorsman, has 1,000 activities and things that he's always involved with, was a primary caregiver for his wife through this very long illness. And that was really very touching to see a person who could have made 1,000 excuses for why he needed to get someone else to do it, but he did it. He really showed what he was made of in doing that and caring for her.
Had the honor of their naming the Materials Center, and I think a lot of my students had a lot to do with that. So it's now known as Straumanus James Hall. I got a flood of letters. Oh. When I got these letters, they were all crediting me. I felt that I played a part in the fact that they were successful. And one of the things I always said to every graduate student I had when we were about to leave, "Do you know that someday you're going to go out there, you may do things that'll far exceed what I've ever done?" And of course they'd always say, "Oh, no, that wasn't possible." And I said, "Well, let me tell you something. Stop and think. If every teacher, like myself, gets a student and the student does less than the teacher, where would we be?" That's not the way it's supposed to work. I said, if it's a good teacher, you're going to be better.
In terms of the impact on Rolla from he and his wife, their whole presence here raised the level of accomplishment a great deal in the university environment.
my wife, always wanted to help others, so we set up a William and Arlene Jame Scholarship in chemistry. And the reason we did that is she knew they had a couple of young ladies there that we had got to know in high school, and they got pregnant and had to leave and wanted to continue to go to school. And with that scholarship, if they were good students, that would help them.
Bill is a great observer. He's got a keen mind. He probably grew up in maybe the greatest generation in the world. And so what you have from 90-some years is an ironclad, continuous learning perspective about the way things are.
He was very helpful to the students, fellow faculty. He was one of those people that just, you were proud to call a friend.
But he's lived an exciting life and a really interesting life, and I would say more interesting than mine and more interesting than most people's lives.
No, I've never heard a single soul ever say anything bad about Dr. James.
He taught me patience, how never to be pessimistic.
Forward-looking person, inventive, creative.
Nice, generous are not enough to describe it.
You'll live a long time. You'll find out what you enjoy doing. It's not how much money you get. It's what you enjoy doing. That should be the number one point.
Did you always enjoy what you did?
Huh?
Did you always enjoy what you did?
You're damn right.